once again. Yep. Greetings Rommies and welcome to Rom, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to the third race of the Automobilista 2 Community Cup. Today we are at Kyalami and the drivers will be racing those wonderful classic DTM cars which Reiza calls Group A so as not to go broke on licenses. Of course, I'm not alone today. With me as co-commentator is Prownage. How are you, mate?
Hey sir, I'm doing good, thank you. Just ready and excited to watch the race.
And as a special surprise, but not right now, a little bit later, we'll have Jim as a co-commentator, who is the principal organizer of these races through Just Race.
I think I get to give you an extra special surprise, Soto, because I'm back. I'm here.
Ooh, he's there. How are you, Jim?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, unfortunately not able to race on the track tonight, but I'm here to assist you, you professional commentating team. So looking forward to that. Should be a good one.
And while Jim is always a pleasant surprise, he's not the surprise we've been talking about that we have for today. That will come later.
I've seen this surprise that you've mentioned on Twitter, but I'm not clued in, so I'm interested to know what's going on.
That's good.
Is he kept it secret even from you, Brownage?
I've got a clue.
He's a man of covert skills. Spying is his game name. That's his
Subterfuge.
So let's check the results after two races. We have Drew Face after two races with 70 points on first. Johnny B with 62 points on second. That's 8 points behind Drew. And Barry as third with 50 points, and then Laws, Blank File, etc, etc. So they are not that far away from each other. Any comments from either you, Prown, or Jim on these drivers?
I mean, from the league leaders, we've just seen incredible consistency all the way throughout, so there's no surprise really that they're managing to just extend that point gap.
And Drew is even making the fastest laps today in qualifying, so I fear we'll have him again at number one.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. The KCSR boys, the Curb Tippers community, they have set some starting times. Drew usually out at front, but the rest of the team not far behind. So, I mean, I'm biased because I race for AMSU, but we've got some very quick drivers. But we're struggling to keep up with those KCSR boys. They're the ones to watch, I think, tonight.
Like I was mentioning before, I know that Rocco used to hold the hot lap record on AMS2's leaderboards for this combo.
Oh, you mentioned that, yes.
Yeah,
He's used to.
I've not looked. It's one of those. He used to. I've not looked recently enough to be able to verify if it still stands.
Well, Drew has just managed to get that leading time for the moment, 53.4, and that is a very quick time. I'm not going to say nobody's going to go quicker, but that's certainly at the top end, I think, that we saw in the practice when we were on before the stream started.
There's Rocco showing his face a little bit himself and keeping him in them 153s too.
Oh, yeah.
And James here at AMSU throwing in the 153 as well.
That's the problem with AMSU having quick drivers. It means I don't get to race because the guys are too quick. They pushed out the admin.
Punted to the substitute lane. Indeed.
But it's a pleasant place to be with you guys. I shouldn't complain too much.
So you'll have to ask for a role as test driver, or
I'll have to rejig the rules on how the people are selected. I think that's what it is. So let the slower boys get
Suddenly a rotation system.
Yes. I think I might implement that for the next. I have to say though, we're talking of, we just discussed the quickest drivers there from KCSR and James White from AMSU, but throughout the field, there's not been a lot of split in times, to be honest, in most of the races. The certainly the top 20, 24 being a full complement of drivers, have all been within a second and a half of each other in terms of lap times. And so I think with this combo, having turned a rather large number of practice laps and enjoyed 2 shakedown laps, I think with this event, the key is going to be, it's obvious, but there's a potential with these cars to light the rears up on corner exit, especially towards the end. After the pit stops, I don't think the quickest guys are going to take tyres. They're going to have worn tyres. And if they get too eager on the power, we could see some either big slides that cost them time or even full spins. So you can keep it pointing in the right direction. You've got a good chance even of the midfielders moving up to the upper section, should we say.
Let's check how the community standings are. So we have KCSR with 178 points as number 1, and we have AMSU with 132 points. That's 46 points behind KCSR at number 2, and the PRC at number 3 with 99 points. But as those add all the points of the drivers, that can change very fast.
Yeah, so from the top of my head, Serta, the way we do the scoring is for each team there's 4 drivers and the top 3 score. So that means you can have a driver who has a technical issue. We know there can be technical issues with AMS2 multiplayer, but we've had a lot of reliability in this. But we're trying not to damage those team scores by somebody getting a disconnect or something like that. So there's basically 1 free driver per team, 3 counts out of 4. And there's also, for the Drivers' Championship, there's a drop race, a void race. So again, you can have a disconnect in the individual Drivers' Championship, and that will become your lowest score and be dropped from your total score, allowing you to kind of hopefully tolerate an unfortunate technical hitch. But we've had very few of them, I have to say. AMS2 has behaved well for us, and we're on round 3, so fingers crossed I haven't given it a kiss of death.
Yeah, touch wood. I've no jinxes today. Everything's been going fairly smoothly so far, so...
are your viewers liking... Sorry, sir, to go ahead.
I was just telling Prawn not to jinx it.
Indeed. I was going to ask Serta, are your viewers liking the new overlay? What it turned on, is it showing on the screen? Are they appreciating it?
So I was about to talk about it. So you people, you viewers on Twitch and on YouTube may notice we have a different overlay, which is not the standard Automobilista 2 overlay. Thanks to Jim's work in the last weeks fiddling with SimHub and some testing, we've got now these. So how do you like them?
I can't hear them. I have to say, drivers to watch then, there's one guy I've got to mention, because maximum respect. The Merc, you're seeing a lot of Mercs. I don't know which cars you're viewing and putting out there on the stream, proudly just the race director. But there's one guy in a Beamer, Donny McGarry's in the Beamer, so maximum respect to Donny. It is a slower car, but he's the guy that's putting out the Beamer on the track, so really lots of respect to Donny. He's an MGT, Mooney GT. So.
He's managing to hold himself together pretty well to keep up in the top 10, so...
Yeah,
I found a couple of incidents and he might find himself doing pretty well, regardless of car choice.
Yeah, I mean, I found it a nice car to drive. It's just not quite got the pace of the Merc when you're really pushing. But the Beamer does have the consistency that maybe you can struggle with to achieve in the Merc, especially without those worn tyres. And driving style is going to be important. If they're sliding the car around a lot, I think the drivers that are doing that are going to pay for that towards the end of the race. race. As I say, it does require a pit stop for fuel. We're going to see some pit stop action, and that pit entry is tricky. Very, very tight corner on the pit entry. So they'll be keen to, lose the least amount of time as possible, but with 100% damage, realistic damage, and it does impact the drivability of the car. If they touch that pit wall on entry, they're going to pay a heavy price for that. So yeah, they'll be taking fuel on board, probably at a standstill for about 20-30 seconds to get the fuel on board, but I don't think many are going to take tyres tonight. I think people are going to battle through.
Oh, and before people in the chat ask, no, the overlays are also not the promised surprise.
No, it's even better than that, I'm sure. Well, I'm hoping so. You've left me guessing as well, sir, so you've not even told me. I mean, I'm the organiser. Don't I get to find out?
Nope.
Oh.
Okay, before we stretch this any longer, and before we go to the race, here's the promised surprise. Thanks to the fine people at Reiza, we can gift you a Steam key for the complete Automobilista 2 experience, the so-called Reiza 51 key. That's the sim, a 2020 to 2022 season pass, which may still be valid for 2023, at least for a couple of content drops, and access to the beta, which includes access to the beta forum. So you're getting one of the coveted AMS2 beta keys, which cost €100 USD at the time they were issued. It will bring you all DLCs that have come out until now and those that are going to still come out this year, plus at least 1 or 2 DLCs in the new year. So if you people on the chat are drooling already, get your fingers on the keyboard and let us know who you think is going to be on the podium of this race. We need 3 names of 3 of the pilots. If there's more than one of you that gets it right, we'll choose one of you at random. If nobody gets it right, we'll pick a name at random out of all of those who gave their tip. We ain't leaving the stream without giving out the key. And, of course, you have to answer to us when we call your name at the end of the race, or the prize will go to somebody else. All thanks to Reiza for this fantastic gift. You'll also learn Automobilista 2 is the gift that keeps on giving.
That's a pretty impressive prize there. Beta access. Am I right in thinking you can't even get that? It's not a purchasable option anymore, is that right?
So I'm not completely sure, but I think it isn't.
I would say so.
That was something that they gave when it still was in alpha, when they hadn't published it.
Wow, yeah, well, I'm lucky enough to be a beta backer myself. I backed AMS1 way back in the day to a level that gave me their following game, which wasn't named at the time. Obviously, AMS2 is what it's turned into. So I am a beta backer, but I'm pretty confident you can't get that beta access. It's not possible, other than if it's gifted or given by Reiza. So yeah, that's a really nice opportunity. The generosity of Reiza really coming through that. That's really nice.
My jaw dropped because I know how much content that you actually get out of the season pass with this thing, and then there's so much racing to be done with it, and there's so much more to come with they've got the historic Spa coming in, haven't they? They've got more track reworks coming in, better laser scans, and it's just continued to evolve into a really, really excellent sim. So it's an amazing offer. That's fantastic.
We are coming to the end of quali though. Who's on the pole position? We've got Drew on pole, haven't we, at the moment? Drew, so KCSR in pole with Drew Face. James Y in second with under a minute to go on qualifying. Those on the hot laps, when the clock hits 0, we'll still be able to complete them. James Y MSU in second, blank file KCSR in third. Fourth is KCSR as well with Johnny B. So currently we've got a first, third and fourth lineup for KCSR. So you guys who are thinking of who might do well in the race, pay attention because these guys are doing very well. Rocco said, you said, Pram, she had the fastest time, or used to at least, on the old time trial mode in game. He's for RPM in 5th. I'll go down to the top 10. Evil Noodle in 6th for NRT. Marco Jabert racing today for PRC. He's an AMSU driver, but he is a standing driver tonight for PRC. Loz Archer, 8th place. AMSU. 9th is Frosty for Mooney GT, and rounding off that top 10 is the 4th KCSR driver. So they have 4 drivers in the top 10 tonight. Bruce Law for KCSR in P10.
I can't believe how close Drew's managed to get to a 152 there.
That is impressive, very impressive. So drivers, the timer has ended, so we're in the qualifying countdown now. Anybody in the pits will not obviously get to do any more laps. Anybody you see you can see that leaderboard there on the left of the stream. Anybody who is still out on track can complete the lap. Evil Noodle's out there, and so is Mugridge Bear. There's just 0.05 separating the two at the moment. So Mugridge might be a man to watch. I don't know who you're watching at the moment, Prownage.
I am being a bit of a fool and I've not got anyone selected. They've just pulled into the pits. Got Loz up at the moment coming around the last corner.
Yeah, Loz very quick as well, currently in 8th place, just 0.2 behind Mugridge. So
a little bit light there, but he might pull that in.
And that's, and we look there, Loz is upper midfield. He's doing really well with a 54.1. That, I'm pushing really hard. I can just scrape into the high 54s. These guys the Chris guys are pretty much 2 seconds quicker than I can achieve. So now you know why I'm not racing tonight. You got to get to hear my dulcet tones on your stream with Serta and Brownage, aren't you, lucky guys? Don't all say yes at once. Calling's over. How did you think that went, Serta? Pretty close?
Well, it went as expected, didn't it? Drewface, Blankfile, Johnny B, those are names that we're all the time talking about at the front, so hey.
Have you had any names come up? Who's posted? I see just posted. Has he put some names forward from the chat?
Yeah. We have already a couple of people posting names. Yep.
Excellent. So 2-minute countdown then. 2-minute countdown to race. Drivers get to do their fuel loadout. I suspect most people are doing full tank, splash and dash. No tyres, as we've already mentioned, and then back out again. The grid, and this is a gotcha here, I do hope we have no incident on the grid. The grid is incredibly close. The lineup, the formation is really, really close on track. So we do hope that nobody gets a stalled engine or a bogged down start. They're reasonably easy to get off the line. They're not prone to bogging down. But it just takes somebody to be a bit slow off the mark, and that could have massive impact through the field. Who's your man to watch then? Who are you going to go for, Pranage? Who's your man? And maybe Serta, you could put a name forward as well.
Well, that's not a big surprise to talk about Drew, right?
I think so. I think so as well. Pranage, who's your guy to watch? Maybe not the quickest, but also the guy who you think might give us some great action out there tonight.
From the performance so far, it's got to be like Drew or Blankfile, or even Johnny B. They're all consistent drivers.
Yeah, massively consistent.
I have to. Jamesy as well seems to be really getting on with this combo, so it could go anyway. A small incident, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I was about to say. On the other hand, this track has very, very mean corners and altitude differences. So hey.
My man, I've got to say, has to be Donny. Maximum respect to Donny, Moody GT, right at the heart of the pack, 12th place out of 24. We've got 15 seconds to go before green, and he's in the Beamer, so that's why he's my man to watch. I think he might be the quick guy at the end of the race. Just a few seconds to go then till green, so I'll leave you to the commentary to get us started, Serta.
And bad start from Drew. Almost got hit there.
It's a really tight pack coming into turn 1 now.
And turn 1 is a mother because it's a 180.
There's a couple of little divey moves going in. A couple of little nudges, but everyone seems to be okay.
I have to say that's an example of how good the racing can be in MS2. That's 24 drivers to turn 1 at Kyalami Modern, and I don't believe we've had a punterino or anything like that. So fantastic work from all the drivers there.
Everyone's alive.
And with these beasts, because they are not easy to drive.
That is an absolutely beautiful sight. I'm on one of the trackside cameras. I'm watching that swarm of cars like bees diving down that long straight out of the first sequence, and it is a beautiful sight to see all those the cars. AMS2 is one of the best looking games I think I've ever played.
True that.
Oh, I've just seen Roy go off at the back there. Little something happened, and he's back on the track. He's only a second or two behind, so hopefully his race will still be a good one.
He's still up there with the pack. He should be able to catch a little bit of draft from the guy in front. Maybe with the pack being so close ahead, catch a little bit of space back up in them braking zones.
A really cracking battle going on for P2. I don't know who you're watching, but P2 is blank file, but that's James Lai fighting with him along with Rocco and Johnny. It's about a four-way battle. And it's allowing Drewface to really pull away about a 2.5 second gap at the moment. But P2 is an absolutely cracking battle at the moment. Almost four wide into every corner. There's kind of two. Oh, somebody's off. Who's off?
James. James has gone off.
Has he managed to get it back? Let me go and find him.
He's lost a few.
He's dropping down. He's got it back. He's got it back on the track. No damage that I can see. So hopefully James is going to be all right. That's James Lai for AMS. He's dropped down there all the way to 17th, 18th now, I think.
Yikes.
He's going. He's on the move.
As was to be expected,
No
Drew
race
makes
upset.
the fastest lap.
I say, my man to watch, Mr. Donny McGarry in the Beamer. He's up to 5th place. He has capitalised a little bit on that
He's been
early.
battling hard through that pack, hasn't he, to make up those games?
Indeed. So all the cars that were kind of bickering around him, if I can kind of call it that, fighting for position, and that's cost them time. And it looks like Donny, although I haven't watched what he's been up to, it looks like he's been able to capitalise that and avoid the battling and keep it clean. So great start. 12th place to 5th place in lap 1 for Donny McGarry.
Nice. Ooh.
Got a few people that have come in for the pit. I wonder if there's been an incident that we've missed.
Might be, or because I was gonna say about something about tires, but they don't need to change tires. Ooh,
like
yeah,
a big
that car doesn't look nice.
No, that's taken a big old hit there.
They're looking very good for KCSRs. I think Johnny's just moved up into 3rd place. They're still
He's just managed to
arguing
take off the podium positions, but he's fighting back, sticking it in the outside.
Jim, remind me, the settings are the damage settings are 75%.
I believe they're 100%. I'd have to go and double check, to be honest, which I'll go and do now. But they're either 75 or 100. But it's set to obviously affect the car's handling and things like that. And I know from spinning off a few times, I was practicing that you don't take much of a bump to get sort of not race ending, but sort of race affecting damage. The aero is not too vital in these cars, so you can take a rub or two. It's not like a winged car or anything like that, but certainly the steering can be hampered quite quickly. So yeah, if you've seen cars with bent bodywork, they're probably going to have to come in. Oh, I think you've had a follower, Gordon Hartor. I'm watching your own stream, you see, so Gordon just followed you. So thanks, Gordon.
Hey, Gordon. Great to see you.
Gordon, if you haven't put your top 3 in, remind me again, Serta, what they have to do. Top 3 to get a chance to win everything,
we want to know,
every bit of AMS2 content, basically.
Exactly. We want to know who you see on the podium, and if you are the only one, then you are going to be a person who's going to get Reiza 51 key, which means that you're gonna get the whole package of Automobilista 2, a season pass, which means all the DLCs until now and supposedly until beginning of 2023, and even access to the beta forum and the beta of Automobilista 2. So that's a big, enormous, fantastic package.
And all they have to do is guess the top 3 to win with a chance, and if nobody gets it right, then it's a lucky dip. I'd say it's worth putting a punt on that and putting your top 3 down in chat. If nobody gets it right, then random selection from those that have put it in. So give it a go, guys.
Yep.
Drewface, at the end of the last lap, he put in a new fastest lap time with a 154 dead, so he's almost in 153 pace with the race setup and race fuel loading. Impressive stuff. I'm looking more, but I don't know what you're streaming at the moment, but I'm looking more back to the midfield. Quite a nice battle going on for 10th place between Andy Bonar and Mugridge Bear, fighting fairly close there. Not far behind them is Hajalis for PLC as well. So 10th, 11th, 12th is pretty close.
James went to stick it around the outside of Hall House there. He's got a really good exit out the corner. He's making a move up on the outside for turn 1.
Is that James Wire making a fight back?
He is having a good old push. He's taken it. He's got the exit and he got the overrun on him. He's taken the position before the corner.
He's done well. I thought Mr. Molehouse might have a little attempt there back on the inside. James was taking a bit of a defensive line, wasn't he? But he's held on to it well. Some really good close racing.
Check out this battle. 10th again.
I'd say Donny McGarry, my man, in the BMW. He's up to 4th place. I think. I mean,
He's
there was bonus
away.
points. There was bonus
Thing
points.
is, you're saying he's taking a defensive line, but it's not easy to get a defensive line on Kyalami.
Yes, yeah, it's a wide old track. There's plenty of ways around it, and that's kind of why I like the slower cars when I'm doing racing. I mean, the fast F1 open wheel stuff is good fun, but I haven't got the reaction times to be able to get good laps in those. But these slower cars, these kind of more almost, they're not street cars, but they've got that look and feel, and they just lend themselves to close racing. The aero's not affected when you're in each other's slipstream, so you're not losing front end grip or anything like that. You're close behind them. You can really race close, and that's what the guys are showing at the moment. 4th and 5th, Evil Noodles having a look at Donny, my man, in the BMW. So possibly a bit of action going on there. Although Evil's just dropped back a little bit, the gap's opened up to about half a second. It looks like maybe Donny's slow on entry and quick on exit. Oh, that final corner, Evil's really close. What do you reckon? Is he going to do him down into turn 1? I don't think the gap's there. I think Donny's managing to hold on.
Just looking at the battle for 17th, and Hull House and Matthews are having a good old joust. Not got the overdrive out that last corner, but it's a long old run down to turn 1. So.
And thanks, Marty, for the $2. That's nice, and thank you for it.
So I'm looking at the track map, which I think you've got on the overlay, haven't you, sir? So I'm trying to work out where kind of the bunches are. There's kind of a pack there from 2 to 6th, really. They're all kind of going around in a little bit block. Then the 7th, 8th, and 9th in another block. And then most the cars, they're close, don't get me wrong, but they're a little bit more spread out leading down the field. So the closest racing seems to be sort of 4th, 5th, and 6th at the moment.
Sticking it around the outside.
And getting,
inside
I think
to
he's
the
going to
next
get it.
corner.
Yep.
Oh,
nice.
he's lost a lot on the exit there.
Yeah, but here it's almost impossible to overtake, so he got it.
Close racing for 12th.
What's the 2 drivers you're watching right then? Where's the battle happening, guys?
Battle between 11th to 14th is pretty close. It's a few people just kind of waiting for their chance.
Biding their time. I tell you, the pit stops are going to be interesting. What have we got so far? So 10 minutes, a quarter. That's good. My maths is never good. A quarter of the race just gone. 30 minutes left on the clock of a 40-minute race. There's no +1 lap. So as soon as that leader crosses the line, after the clock hits 0, that is the last lap done, as it were, and everybody will be finishing. Pit stops, I'm guessing people have taken a full tank. I think they're going to happen with about 15 minutes to go. So they'll be running about approaching the half full level in the tank at the moment. Coming in maybe another 10 or 15 minutes. for us. Well, I say splash and dash. It's still about 20 to 30 seconds standing time to get the fuel in the tank, and that's where the pit entry is absolutely crucial. We could see some wall scraping on that pit entry. I don't know if we've had anybody go in the pits yet. I don't think we have, but we've had a few at the back, haven't we? But it's a real tricky pit entry. I'll try and keep my eye on who might be coming in and giving it the heads up as well, guys, whilst you're focusing on the
Ooh, who went wide there?
Hall House went really wide into that corner there, and Matthews just walked through that position.
Almost landed in the gravel.
Yeah.
Oh, and
tight little group.
If you're new to these races, this is the Automobilista 2 Community Cup, and that's 6 communities racing with 3 or 4 drivers, and each community had a chance to choose a combo of track and cars, and that's why on every race we're seeing one different combination, and until now we're seeing very interesting combinations.
Starting to spread out a little bit more at the front of the field, isn't it? I'm just trying to look at that track map.
Yeah, there's a big gap between the third and fourth between Johnny B and Rocco.
Did something happen there? I thought they were more boxed up, but fourth, fifth, third, fourth, and fifth have certainly spread themselves out. There's still a battle going on for second and third. That's not much of a battle because that's KCSR team orders, I'm sure. Drew out at front. In KCSR, Blankfile in second, and close behind is Johnny, also for KCSR in third. So I don't suppose there's team orders there, but certainly they won't be fighting each other for position for the same team. RPM doing really well, guys. I hadn't realised it. We spotted 4th, 5th, and 6th are the RPM boys. That's Rocco, Flying Hawkick, and Mad Mike Plays, picking up a lot of points there. Not a good race for AMSU so far. Best AMSU driver is Barry N in 7th place.
They should have let you drive.
Yeah, well, I tried to tell them, but they were sensible enough to let me commentate and not be on the track. I did do some full race distance tests. Oh, big slide for Johnny in third. He holds it though. He holds it.
We got a new subscriber. Thank you, Sergi San, for subscribing. Welcome to the family.
Where's my man of the race? Where's Donny? Oh, Donny's dropped back. He was up to 4th at one point, but clearly something's gone wrong from there. He's dropped back to 9th place. I was really impressed by his performance, but whilst I've not been watching him, he's dropped back, and he's got Andy Bonar for NRT not that far behind. So Donny McGarry in the only BMW in this Group A series. Everybody else is in the Merc. So Donny flying the flag of Beam was out there. Something's happened and he's dropped 4 or 5 places back down the field.
So just seeing James taking a lot of curb and managing to get a move up the inside.
Well, his fight back's going well. As he dropped to 18th after, I think it was end of lap 1, he ran wide, didn't he? I don't know if it was self-induced or not, but he ran wide and he's fought his way back up to 12th from 18th place. And
it's not quite carried the speed for this turn. Although Bonner's gone really wide, he's got it. Bonner went wide, really deep into the corner and just takes the position.
I think that was Hajalis that he passed rather than Bonner, wasn't it?
Oh, Hajalis, sorry, that's my bad.
Yeah, no, it's but Andy Bonner, you're right, is the driver further up the field that James is now chasing down. So Andy in the silver Mercs that you might be seeing further down the field from James Lai. I guess that's about 150 metres away. But James has already opened up a nice gap over Hajalis. Clearly got that hammer down, pushing as hard as he can. But will his tyre survive? As I say, my estimate now is we're about 10 minutes away from where we'll see a flurry of pit stops. I mean, what do you reckon tactics-wise, guys? If I was out there on track now, knowing that everybody's likely to pit at that 15-minute mark or there or thereabouts, I'd be coming in early. I would want to have that pit entry to myself. I mean, AMS2, the cars even are ghosted in the pit lane. You can drive through them without receiving any damage. But that pit entry, I don't want to be following somebody nose to tail into there, so I might be considering coming in early. What would you guys do?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I agree there. Definitely. You don't want to have. You don't even want to be even lured into that mistake. A ghosted car can still be a big distraction.
Oh yeah, definitely. And also, I mean, as I say, it doesn't ghost till you're in the pit lane. So as I say, nose to tail going in, you're going to struggle. But as you come out, if you're overlapping as you come out, if you happen to both set off out of your pit box and end up being on top of each other as you go out of the pit lane, then it doesn't unghost you until you are safely separated, as it were. But certainly that entry, I'd be thinking, if I'm closely behind somebody, I'll try that leapfrog. I'll come in early. Maybe you'll have a poor pit stop, and I'll get that leapfrog overtake in the pit.
I don't know. I never found the pit entry here at Kyalami to be especially difficult, so I wouldn't have any problems with that.
I think, well, certainly for me, what I found difficult is it's that final corner compressed into an even tighter space. So you are obviously trying to maximise or minimise that lost time in the pits, and the place to make up the time is by doing a great entry. The exit is straightforward. It's just, straight out of the pit lane. There's no complexity about that. But that entrance is where you're going to make up the time. Because it's such a tight corner, you don't have to worry about the pit limiter. It's not like, oh, how accurate do you get on the pit limiter? If you overdo it here, it won't be a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It'll be damage due to the pit wall. And I think that's where people might come across. But, really, if you're nose to tail with somebody, you've been following somebody for 20 plus minutes, 25 minutes, and you've not found a way around them, then that eagerness to get that overtake done in the pit stop could see some pit wall collisions, I think.
Well, we'll see. Oh, did somebody drop out?
We have lost somebody. Oh, Fernando has left. I don't know whether he got disconnected. Something else happened. That is a shame. I don't know where he was in the standings. I'm just quickly trying to look. If I quickly scroll back through the stream, where was he? Oh, he was he last place? I think something had happened because he was towards the back of the field. So something had happened, unfortunately, for Fernando. Oh no, yeah, towards the back, about 17th place that I've after.
Like a couple of drivers have started to come in. Yeah, we've got Rocco and Bonner in the pit. Have already come in. Looks like they're taking on their fuel.
That's an early stop. So Rocco and Andy have taken an early stop. But were they? I'm guessing they were quite close to each other when they came in. Anyway, so Rocco's on the move.
Off, I think, at the time.
Right. Andy Bonar still standing still. I don't know if he's taking tyres or not. I'm trying to recall where they were in relation to each other on track, whether that was close or not.
I think they were a few positions between. I think there were about 3 spots between.
Right. I'm tempted to say then, if that's the case, that maybe Andy has taken tyres and Rocco didn't, which I think is the quicker strategy. Andy certainly seems to be stationary for a lot longer though. But my focus now, I'll call out those guys coming in the pits as best I can. I am watching for that pit stop icon. As soon as I see somebody coming in, I'll let you know. We're getting close to that window, aren't we? So I think the maximum sort of run time is to about 15 minutes left, about 25 minutes of driving. So those guys, I think, made an early stop. But
anyone that's noticed, it's going to be on their mind now. Should I come in and maybe get it done?
Definitely.
And to anybody who's come new into the middle of the race, let's remind you that you can win a whole key for Automobilista 2 and the access to the beta forum and the beta of Automobilista 2 and the season pass, which will have all the DLCs since it came out, until we expect the first or second DLC of 2023. If you tell us who is going to be on the podium in your opinion and you get it right, or if nobody gets it right, you win when we choose one name at random.
James Y, man to watch again, Proudage. If you're not watching already, he's closed in on Donny McGarry. That's a Merc fighting a BMW. James Y brought himself back from an early incident from 18th place up to 9. Pit stops are looming, and James Y is on the tail of the Beamer from Donny McGarry.
Yeah, we're just checking out that action ourselves now, and it's getting incredibly close. Donny McGarry's been doing really, really well the whole race. He's been all up and down this table so far. Has started in 12th place, been as high as 4th place. And James himself started on the grid in 3rd. dropped down to 18th and has battled his way back up.
Keep watching that battle, but we've got pit stops happening lower down the feed. That's a field rather. Mr. Wholehouse and Lodge have gone into the pits. I'm keeping an eye on the leader there. I'm watching him myself. I'll call out if he's heading into the pits, Granny, so you can switch to him.
Johnny and Blank File having their own little battle for second.
Yeah, I was just watching that. The leader's past the pit lane, but Blank File and Johnny going past it too. So again, those guys haven't pitted. Barry M has caught up to the tail of Flying Hawkick. That's fourth and fifth. Barry in fifth, Flying in fourth. Are either of those going to pit? If I was Barry right now, I'd be thinking early stop. Is he going to go in? Oh, Flying Hawkick's in. Barry is not. Flying Hawkick is in the pits.
Mugridge is in. Yep, here they come. Mike's in.
Here comes the flurry of stops. So Barry's going around for an extra stop. It'll be interesting to see when those two come out. There's an absolute flurry of actions in the pit lane then. We've got Flying Hawkick in, Mugridge Bear, and also Mad Mike Plays, all in the pit lane. You might have seen there on the stream that they are ghosted in the pit, so they are safe to drive through each other. And as long as they're not overlapping as they exit, then they'll be unghosted on exits. That's 3 cars in the pit lane. They were really close to each other as well, I think. So interesting to see who gets on the move first.
Johnny in the BMW is managing to hold off James really, really well. It's a really, really nice battle going on.
Flying Hawkick is out of the pits first of all. Slow stops of Mad Mike Plays and Mugridge Bear. They're both moving at about the same time. Let's go back to I'll keep an eye on Drew and let you know if it comes in. If Barry does come in, I tell you that might be a very interesting one to watch. I know you're watching that battle between Johnny and Donny. Not Johnny and Donny. Is it Johnny? What's that battle you're watching? James, thank you. It was a J. Close enough. James and Donny battling there. But if Barry comes in, that might be very interesting to see if he can leapfrog the guy he was following. Which I think was Rocco.
He's losing control.
He's lost it. James has dipped a rear tire in the gravel and lost.
That's such a shame.
Lost that battle there.
He went too hot into the corner and got some oversteer and bye.
So Barry's coming around to the pit lane. Is he going to go in? He's going. And if it does, it'll be a lap later. No, Barry is staying out for one more lap. So Barry trying to capitalise on a low fuel load out, as it were, low amount of fuel in his tank, the car running light, putting an extra 2 laps to try and leapfrog. Oh god, my memory's failing me. Was it Rocco he was battling with? I think it was either Rocco or Flying Hawkick he was battling with before the pit.
In the battle with the RPM guys, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So Barry's definitely, so those 2 guys, Flying Hawkick and Rocco, both gone out, stayed out longer. Gone in early, whereas Barry has stayed out longer to try and get those faster lap times. Although I haven't watched them sliding around. Donny's in, is he?
And Massive Cheese. Matthews is in. Roy for RPM's in. I don't think there's many left to pit.
There's not. The leader hasn't pitted, and he is coming up to a back marker, probably somebody who has pitted already. So Drew, I would expect to pit this time just to save him time from having to overtake people who aren't, lapped drivers unnecessarily. Another flurry of cars going. There's Frosty's in the pits. Massive Cheese, Matthews, and McGarry are all in.
Well, as was to be expected at this point of the race.
Yeah, I said the 15-minute mark, and I said that's about the limit.
You did.
15 minutes 40 left on the clock. I am following my man Barry M to see if he comes in. He's about another 30-40 seconds away from the pit lane. I haven't seen any major mistakes. He looks like he's kept it clean, so I'm hoping that Barry might be able to leapfrog a driver or 2.
That's Drew's just coming into the pits now.
I think this will be the absolute limit. Anybody who hasn't pitted now will be coming in. The only car I think we could have stayed up, maybe the Beamer, but I think we saw Donny pit already, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Slightly lower fuel use.
There's a special wish on Twitch that we give Barry some screen time.
Yeah, get on Barry now. So Barry's approaching the pit lane now. He's going to be coming in any second. But he's pitting. When he comes out, I'm pretty sure it was the RPM boys he was fighting with. That's Flying Hawkick in 9th place. And, there's 3 of them actually. Rocco, Flying Hawkick, and Mad Mike Plays. That's 8th, 9th, and 10th. So hopefully Barry had a really nice entry there. It looked good. I'm fully biased, and I'll let you know that because I am an AMSU guy. So Barry currently the leading driver for AMSU. Can he come out ahead of the RPM boys? I'm going to go and switch to the leading RPM guide to see when they're moving.
Are they all changing tires, or is it the standard
I
Automobilista 2
them not
animation?
to. I think it's a standard animation. So
Rocco's
Rocco
just coming around the last corner. He's
Barry's on the move.
taking out. Oh,
Barry's on the move. That's going to be close. I think Rocco's through. Yes, Rocco's through, but is Barry ahead of... Barry's out in 4th place. Flying Hawkick. Where's the Flying Hawkick? Let's see. Flying Hawkick is behind Barry. So Barry, I think, came out roughly where he was, but that...
he might have gained a position there. I'm not 100%, but he might have gained a position.
On Flying Hawkick, you think he managed to sneak that?
Yeah, I think I do. I think he has, yeah. I'm pretty sure the RPM guys were all clustered together.
That's right, yeah. So he's kind of managed to get himself between that trio of RPM boys.
Yeah.
So apparently KCSR still doing an absolute cracking showing here at Kyalami with the Group A's. Drewface in the lead, Blankfile second, and Johnny in third. A bit of RPM action for 4th place. Rocco had that time trial record, and he's in 4th place. Barry M putting it there for the AMSU gang. He's in 5th, and then another 2 RPM guys, 6th and 7th is RPM. The fastest PRC driver at the moment is Mugridge. Well done, Mugridge. And NRT is in 10th place, the fastest NRT driver in 10th place. It's 12th place for the Mooney boys, Raptor NL for Mooney GT.
Where's a Beamer?
Donny, what's happening to Donny?
He's down in 17th.
Oh, that's...
And he's looking he had a big shunt somewhere.
I wonder if he collected the pit wall or something like that, maybe, or just struggled with worn tyres and a higher fuel loadout.
That doesn't look good. A Beamer should not look like that.
Is there a bit of a battle going on for 9th and 10th? There's a bit of traffic, and James Ryan and Andy Bonar there, about less than a second apart, and I think there's a little bit of traffic involved. No, it's not traffic. It is Mugridge Bear that is 8th, 9th, and 10th. Very close between 8th and 9th. Mugridge Bear in 8th, James Y in 9th, and Andy Bonar loitering in the background, hoping to capitalise on any mistakes that Mugridge Bear and James Y make as they battle for 8th place. Going down that start-finish straight now. Mugridge Bear in the lead. James Y tucked in behind. You won't believe James Y was back in 18th place at the end of lap 1, but he's now looking to try to get up to 8th. He forced Mugridge to be a little bit defensive there. So, and a little bit of slide on exit.
Yeah, he's definitely lost a bit of speed in that corner.
I mean, now the drivers really are battling the tyres. So that's the thing. I mean, you're losing pace because you don't want to slide the car too much. James Y on the dirt there, and I know that that corner exit, if you put the tyres on the dirt, there is a real risk of you spinning it into the wall on the left-hand side. But he manages to avoid that as once again they head to the corner. James Y a tighter line. A big slide, a lot of opposite lock there for Mugridge.
So these cars are incredibly heavy, and with a fuel load on these worn tyres, it's going to start being a battle for everybody. Oh, we've got 2 more people in the pit. Yep, that's Donny in this beat up BMW.
Well, and the second one is Jim, so don't count him.
Yeah, don't count me. Mugridge forced defensive there. James will probably get the better exit. Can he do it? He's tighter. I think James has managed to keep the tyres less worn, so I'm thinking has he got a run here? Has he got enough draft? I don't think he's close enough. He's certainly putting Mugridge under a lot of pressure. I'm looking at the timings. This is the closest battle. I mean, we've got KCSR 2 and 3, but those guys aren't really fighting. It's a big mistake from Mugridge.
Both went a little bit slidey.
Yeah, they're pushing very hard. That just shows how hard they're pushing. Even though, because both slid, James has dropped back now. Gap opening up.
Get a nice exit here.
Yeah, and let's not forget that these cars are monsters. They're whales.
They're incredibly aggressive motors to drive.
And we've just gone into the last 10 minutes of racing. It's been a 40-minute race here, three-quarters of the race gone, last 10 minutes of action. We're going to, as I say, be having those battles based on tyre wear. When I was doing my testing, I know if you ran a higher ABS value, it wasn't as quick, but you would capitalise on towards the end of the race with less tyre wear. So if you were happy to have a longer braking distance, sacrifice some of the performance initially, you would be reaping the rewards now with tyres that are, 10 or 15% better off than those that have run the quickest setup.
Oh wow, that's quite a difference.
Oh my God, he's having a look. So Mugridge forced to go tight and defend. That could lead to James getting a better exit, but there's not a lot you can do on this corner exit. There's no space for the overtake. You're not going to get too wide into the next corner, and that would be a last lap attempt overtake. I think it's high risk manoeuvre. I wouldn't be doing that with 9 minutes to go. So James just tucks himself back in behind Mugridge Bear as they head up to the midway point around the track into the hairpin. Once again, Mugridge defensive. James on the outside, lights. He's got his lights on, is James, I think. He's
that cut back. Oh, it's
yes,
he's
doing once again. The drag down that straight. This is the same point where I was wondering whether James had got the run on Mugridge, but it's close. It's close. Is he having a look? No. He's
Nope.
He's held back. Now this is where they both made the mistake.
And again.
Oh.
Mugridge gets a better exit.
We saw almost the repetition of one lap before.
I'll have a look down the field for some other closer action as you guys carry on watching that, see if there's anything else up there. I think that is the closest battle we're watching at the moment.
Said Donny's come out from repairs in the pits and he's continuing with his race.
Oh, good man. It's good to soldier on. Sometimes you feel like quitting, but it's good to keep going. Keep watching that battle. There's about a second between Barry and Rocco. I'll let you know if that closes up. So that's Barry in 5th and Rocco in 4th.
Be a good battle.
James Y and Mugridge still the closest guys walking down the field.
And still sliding a little bit.
You've got Tony Matthews, I think, and Raptor NL. That's 12th and 13th. They're a similar distance apart. But stick with that battle between James and Mugridge. We know James has had qualified better and has fought his way back.
Evil Noodled in the pits.
That's a very late stop. We can only assume damage.
Quick look. Doesn't look to be.
Maybe he waited until now to do splash and dash.
Switch to 13th place, Tony Matthews. Tony is closing up on the back of Raptor NL. That gap is now, I think, a little bit closer than the Andy Bonard James James White Mugridge Bear battle. I think it's NRT for Mr. Matthews and Raptor NL in 12th places in the Mooney GT. Is that the fight you've switched to? Because I'm not watching the stream. Yeah, that's the one you've got.
See, the out of the last corner and down to turn 1 seems to be the one where people are making the biggest hopeful moves. You get such an overrun if you nail the exit to the final corner.
Yeah, it's capitalising on other people's mistakes, really. That's what you've got to do with these. And this time of the race is where those mistakes are happening. I have to say, we should have mentioned the skins. Once again, all the teams have done a sterling job with the skins, all of them looking really beautiful. And I think we haven't got any drivers, they may have made a mistake in the last race, guys. We've got all the drivers in the correct skins. Only me showing us up in the last event. Johnny and Blankfell still nose to tail around the track. I think they might have swapped order. I think maybe Johnny was behind in 3rd and he's now up to 2nd. So I think maybe those exchanged places. Barry M still trying to chase down Rocco, and that's a second gap between those two. Not close enough to be fighting yet. Each of them hoping the other makes a mistake.
Donny's managed to make his way past Roy. Climbed his way back into 21st.
Very close for 9th, 8th and 9th. That's the Mugridge Bear battle we're coming back to. It's really close. James Y has got himself tucked back in behind the wing of Mugridge Bear, taking a lot of curve, a lot of risks maybe there for James Y, trying to maximise
making himself known there, isn't he? Being really big in those mirrors.
Once again, Mugridge Bear defends into the corner. James tries to push inside. He'll be trying to cut back. Oh no, this time he stayed wide. Or both of them get a wiggle. Both of them get a wiggle trying to get the power down. And Mugridge Bear looks like he will survive another few corners as that gap is extended just a little.
Less than 5 minutes until the end of the race.
How did you know I was about to say that as well, Surta? Thank you for saving me the bother. Yeah, so once again, it's not a +1. There is a +1 option in AMS2. 40 minutes was on the clock. When that hits 0 and the leader crosses the line, that will be when the lap limit is reached, as it were. So there's no +1, it's not 40 minutes and then another lap. It's 40 minutes and done tonight. As Mugridge Bear and James White exit that final corner, James not close enough this time, I think, into turn 1, but he'll be really crossing his finger, trying to get that lap down, trying to get those good laps in, and I think towards the latter stages we're going to see I hesitate to call it a lunge, but when you get towards the latter stages of the race, you've got to expect it. Mugridge will be defending hard, and James is going to be kind of, well, if I don't have a go, it's not going to happen.
And because it's so near the end of the race, we're gonna see also who has been treating his tires well and who hasn't.
James has just gone round the inside there, like a
wonderful overtake.
Like Mugridge weren't even there.
I didn't even see. I'd quickly switched off to see somebody else and didn't even see it happen. But a big slide for James. Can he hold it? Oh, he's done. I think he's got that move done. I don't think Mugridge is going to have an answer here. The gap always seems to have opened up. So clearly James had the pace and was just waiting for the opportunity. So that is P18 on lap 1 after an early incident. James White back up to P8. Great showing and great commitment and kind of resistance, as it were, to his misfortune at the start of the race to pull it back to 8th place for James. Congratulations to him. Now that Barry M Rocco battle is closed up a little bit, I think Barry has got it to within half a second now as they go into the final corner. So with just under 3 minutes on the clock now, Rocco is going to be feeling that pressure.
See if he can manage to maintain this consistency that he's managed to put through today. Hold on to the position just for maybe 2 more laps with the countdown.
It's certainly hard to do. I don't know. Well, I know both of you do occasional racing. I know Brownies, you're not able to do so much of it at the moment, and Surta the same. But I know when I'm out track, I like to be chasing somebody. And if I'm chasing, I feel like, it's mine to win, as it were, my battle to win. Whereas when you're being chased, it's yours to throw away. And I find it much harder to cope with that pressure, to know somebody's chasing you down, closing that gap and trying to get past you. When you guys race regularly, what did you find harder, to be chased or to be the chaser?
I don't think I've ever heard it verbalised so well, but I'm definitely in the same school of thought as you on that one. I definitely prefer to be chasing than chased.
Yeah, you've got everything.
I would very
to
much
win,
prefer to be chased, but normally I'm the one not even chasing because I'm so far behind everyone else. Ooh,
a little bit of the guys are for the same team, but RPM boys 6th and 7th are pretty nose to tail, but I would expect them not to, be getting too much in the way of each other. They're fairly isolated. They do have James Y behind, but he's some 3 or 4 seconds back. I don't think even with James Y's pace he's going to be able to close in on those guys. So I'm sure the RPM boys in 6th and 7th will just be driving sensible and coming over the line.
Yeah, I should imagine
nose to tail. So I think that battle, I'm trying to look elsewhere down the field, but I think the closest battle is still that Barry M battle with Rocco. Oh, it's only a lap difference, and that gap is even closer. The clock is at 40 seconds to go. So at the end of this lap, I would think that this is going to be a race over. Barry is 30 seconds back from the leader, and the lap is just under 2 minutes. So this is the final lap as we head down to the first sequence. Oh, Barry's made a good exit there. He is tucked under Rocco's wing. Is he going to cope with the pressure? Rocco goes very wide. Too wide. He does it. Oh, fantastic. Last lap overtake, but
into the position.
It's going to be too wide down the back of the straight. Who's going to come out best? Barry's got the inside. Rocco on the outside. Oh, Rocco got the pace there. He got a fantastic exit, didn't he?
Yeah, but wait, this
Still
is a long
stuck on
curve.
that outside edge though, but he's inside here. Oh, he's cut back and under-braked him there.
This is the third overtake of the final lap we've seen between these two boys. Can they keep it nice and clean? They're doing a sterling job of it at the moment, aren't they?
Racing hard. But they're racing clean.
Rocco had to concede that corner there on the outside line through that S sequence is no good. So is that going to allow Barry to hold on to fourth place? It's a battle for fourth and fifth. Last lap, 3 overtakes already done. Don't overdo it, Barry. Keep it together. A little bit of a twitch, a little bit of a slide. Who will get the better exit?
Barry, clearly.
I think he did, didn't he?
Carry a little bit more speed there.
And that is the leader over the line. And we were watching him, but the race countdown has just come on. So that means the leader, Drew Face, is across the line. He was about 15 to 20 seconds ahead of Johnny. Johnny and Blankfowler in P2 and 3, but we'll stick with this battle for Barry M. But P2 and P3, there is some team orders for KCSR there. So I'm sure those two guys will go nose to tail across the line. Final corner now for Barry M and Rocco. Barry keeps it together. That was a fantastic battle. I really enjoyed getting that on the last lap. That was a great end to 40 minutes of racing. Barry M takes fourth, Rocco in fifth. What a battle.
Fantastic fight there.
Oh, there's lots of action going on further down the field. Sixth place is RPM with Mad Mike close behind. There's a whole gaggle of drivers there. There's 4 drivers, Mugridge Bear, James Y. Oh, there's a run there for Mugridge. Oh, so close, so close. That was a close battle. How did those guys manage to close up? I don't know.
They must have been a mistake.
Something must have happened because James was ahead of Mugridge. He'd made that position happen, was opening up the gap, and then it didn't happen. So there must have been some mistake. Something happened for James Y. And unfortunately, he only made up 9 places on that lap instead of finishing in 9th place. Serta, would you like to do a run through the top 10 then? As the top 10, I think, you finished, and you can go through the standings, sir.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Drew Face, as almost everyone expected, on first, Johnny B on second, Blankfile on third, Barry ended up getting the ahead of Rocco, so Barry on fourth, Rocco on fifth. Take it away, Brown.
We've got Hawkey can manage to pull in a 6th, Mad Mike plays into 7th, Mugridge for Phoenix Racing in 8th, James at AMSU with his stellar performance managing to pull back. If there were a driver of the day vote, I think he'd be mine, to be honest. And I didn't catch the last one because I was too long talking.
That place was Andy Bono, I think.
Andy Bonner, yeah, Bernardi.
I will just screen grab that top 10 in case you're needing it, Serta, for that competition. Do you want me, Serta, to hop back into the main chat and invite anybody over?
Yes, please.
Anybody in particular? Who would you like? I'm thinking
well,
kind of
let's get So let's get Drew, of course, as the winner, and Barry and Rocco, of course, because that was an incredible fight that they had.
I'll hop in there, see if I can grab them, guys. You keep the stream going.
So I'm going through. I'm going through the names that won, or no, I'm going through all that put some names in and seeing who won. So we got a new subscriber, Jesper Patterson. Welcome to the family. So, Brown, if you want to comment on the race, you're welcome, because I'm fiddling here with names.
Yeah, no problem at all. Just a fantastic race, I found it. Some very good battling throughout, and also some very clean racing. I don't think there was any driver-on-driver incidents. I think there was a few more people missed the braking points. A couple of shunts, clearly based on some of the damage, but everyone seemed to be clean. Looking forward to maybe watching that back.
We've got Barry and Drew in the voice. I'll just go and try and get Rocco again. I don't know if he's still around. He is. I'll just go and try and get Rocco. But you've got Barry and Drew in voice if you need to invite them to speak or anything. Serta, they're here in the channel. Oh, Rocco's just come as well. Rocco's here as well.
So let's start with Drew.
Do you need them to invite them to speak or anything? I'm not sure how it works in the...
yeah, wait. So, Drew, there we have him. I have to move him here. And nothing happens. Great! Thank you, Discord.
Hey guys, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
we can.
Hi, Drew. Congratulations on yet another win.
Yeah, thank you. It was a really, really good team effort this race. Big thanks out to everybody else in KCSR because together we worked really well, I think, to secure that podium lockout.
You did. That was impressive. A podium lockout. That was you in the win, claiming those that gold medal, as it were. Win. Drewface. Johnny got second, didn't he? And Blankfell third. So proper KCSR lockout there. Well done, guys.
Yeah, thank you. It was an interesting race because there were two strategies to go for. You could either go all out and opt to change your tires, or you could take it a bit more easy and use that one set across the entire race. I had planned on the first one, hence why I was very quick out of the blocks, straight into the 53s to try and open up that gap because it's a 10-second additional time if you take tires. So I got that 10-second gap and was confident that I was going to be able to come out still in front, even though I was planning on changing tires. And then by the time we got to the stop, the tire wear was well in control. I think the default progressing that AMS2 has means that the track rubbers up, you slide less, and you maintain your tires a little bit longer. And so I think the three of us all opted not to change. So we had super quick pit stops with no tire change, and we extended one lap over most of the grid by doing a bit of fuel saving. So overall, a really, really great team effort. Really proud of the entire team.
I think your lap time is shown in the strategy that you had as well. Your best laps are 153.6. Looking down the rest of the top 10, Barry in fourth place, he had a 153.9. But yeah, you were in the region of 0.4 to 0.5 quicker than the next quickest. I mean, even your own teammates there, Johnny with the 54.1 and Blankfire also with the 54.1. So your strategy there of opening up that gap, showing in the lap time, and clearly worked for you. Congratulations to you and the KCSR boys. Really good job.
Cheers, thank you.
Drew, one last question. Tell me a number between 1 and 4.
1.
Okay, so let me check.
Are you deciding on the prize, Serta?
Yep, exactly. So I mixed the names a little bit, and Drew, as somebody who didn't even know what he was saying, why he was saying the number, he chose Marlboro. Marlboro, please contact me on Discord before the end of the next interview, and you'll get the key. Lucky winner.
Just so you guys know, you wouldn't have known this, but Serta managed to get in touch with Reiza, and Reiza did a pretty fantastic prize. They offered not only the full content for AMS2, but beta access, something you can't even get hold of now unless Reiza are to grant it to you. It's not purchasable anymore. So that was a prize that Reiza offered. So that's what you've just helped choose from the guys that put in the required names, the top 3 names they had to guess. So cheers for that, Drew. But that's you've just probably made somebody rather happy.
You're welcome, I guess.
Congratulations on yet another win, and we'll see you hopefully battling a little bit more in the next race. By the way, the next race is going to be 60 minutes on the Glen with which cars are those, Jim? Do you know?
Oh, I'll have to go look it up. But
they look like LMPs, so I suppose that they are the American version. What are they called?
Oh, I'm going to look it up right now. But Drew, just loiter because we're going to try and get Barry and Rocco, who the absolute fantastic battle. We're trying to get your voices live. And Drew, you managed it, so we might need your assistance here. But can we get Barry and Rocco audio working on the game whilst on Discord rather, whilst I'm looking up the next race combo? Do you know what you have to do?
Yeah.
We've got Barry, I think. We've got them all. Fantastic. You take the lead, Serta, whilst I go and look up the next round.
All right. So, Barry, Rocco, we saw a lot of your battle, and that was a very interesting battle. So that was quite interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about what you were thinking, what you were feeling, how your cars felt?
Rocco, you want to go first?
I'll try. So first of all, congrats to Cup Clippers. Stunning performance again.
Cheers, Rocco. I appreciate that.
And yeah, I set my car to have a good performance on a heavy load. So in the practice race yesterday, I managed to find out that I'm lacking in lap time with a heavy car. So I got that ready for a heavy load, and as it got lighter, the performance dropped, of course. Also, tires were down below 50%. I got for no tire pit stop strategy. So the last few laps were quite heavy.
Well, it certainly was a fantastic battle. The 3 overtakes I counted. Proudage was doing the camera work, and I got to do a bit of the commentary because I was getting excited, I have to say, Barry, for Team AMSU, not to take anything away from Rocco. It's always easier, as we discussed, to be the chaser than the chased. But it was one fantastic battle. 3 overtakes on that final lap. Barry, you must have been feeling the pressure to try and find a way past.
Because qualifying was a disaster. I had a couple of misshifts, and I qualified 16th. So the first lap was very adventurous. There were lots of cars spinning and on the grass and in the mud, and I managed to get through all that unscathed. So after the pit stops, I found myself in, was it P5? And I saw Rocco just coming, like when I exited the pits, Rocco was already on straight. So I can't remember what the interval was, but I managed to reel him in mainly under braking. My tire wear wasn't too bad. I think I was down to 25%, but every time I got past Rocco, my third gear was a little bit too tall, so he managed just to out-accelerate me again. And I think that's what created the excitement, that side-by-side racing. And it was clean. It was, as far as I can tell, no contact between us. So, kudos.
Yeah, same. Very clean.
Proudage, you were doing the camera work. I mean, I was getting too excited and doing all the talking. But what was your take on that battle? I mean, the number of the guys just said it. They were side by side, and it was clean, and it was really impressive.
Yeah, it was like marvelous to watch. Just trying to keep a track on who was actually leading at some points was quite difficult without the timetables. But yeah, fantastic driving from both of you. There was no contact there, not that I managed to see. So yeah, definitely some amazing clean driving.
Oh, great work, boys. Thank you, Drew and Barry and Rocco, for coming into the voice chat. Well done, RPM, KCSR and AMSU. Appreciate that, guys. Next round, before I hand back to Surta to close the stream and do what he needs to do, or maybe choose another winner if that winner hasn't got in touch with you.
No,
the next
he already
round...
did. He already did.
Oh,
I'm sorry to say to everyone else, but he already contacted me. He's got the key. Now I just need his Steam name so that Reiza can add him to the forum, to the beta forum, to the very exclusive beta forum.
That is one lucky viewer that's just claimed a really, not an insignificant prize at all. That's, I guess that's over €100 worth of content, even when it's on Steam sales and things like that, and plus something you cannot buy the beta access. But the next round, as I was just kind of alluding to, so it's Watkins Glen, that's right, it's the Sigma P1.
Greetings,
Sigma
petrolheads,
P1
and welcome to RomRom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing. Today, as you know, we are in Daytona Roval, and we are going to be showing the race by the Automobilista 2 Community Cup second race. And I say we because with me is the fantastic camera person and co-commentator Proudage. How are you today?
AMS2.
I'm doing good, thank you. Ready for today's race.
Everybody will join us again for some more
Perfect, wonderful. That's Tuesday, 8th of November, 2022. The stream to the people watching, I will have to look it up because in Europe we have the time change at the end of October, so it may be 2100 or 2200. Sorry about that, but I'm crap at time zones.
I can confirm. I can confirm. So if your time zone changes, then it will be exactly the same time for you.
Okay,
Most of our
I don't
races
see
are
any
Europe
protests,
based, so we change
seems
with
that
the
for
time
now
zones that
it's
were. So
good.
local time, whatever time you have
Perfect.
been watching these fantastic
If you have
streams
any
on Surfer and
issues
Rom,
with the
it'll be
sound, just let
absolutely
us know.
identical. It'll factor that in. as it were,
So you can
automatically.
see this time we are not racing the P3s, but we are racing GTEs. I think this time it was the curb clippers who chose the cars and track, right? Okay, so
You know, I'm not
this
entirely
is
sure.
the end
I think
of
so.
our. I'll have to. I think our
so too.
stream. Thank you very much, Jim, for being with us. Was great having you and commenting. Thank you, Prownage. Or not? Yeah, it was the curb clippers. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. It's been an absolute pleasure
And of
joining you
course,
boys
we
in the
have
stream.
special
I'd
liveries.
like to have been on track,
What we
but I have to
noticed,
say,
we were
I'm pretty sure I've had
discussing
as
this
much fun on
before
the
we
stream as I
started
will
the
on
stream.
So thank you guys for letting me.
Most of the
That's been nice having you.
drivers have chosen the
Welcome
virtual-
back anytime.
Absolutely, absolutely. But there is a couple of drivers until the next time, have taken save fuel,
Beamer.
collect pickup,
It's an
and
M4,
we'll see each other
right?
on the podium.
The M8.
M8.